Page 128. In the blue brackets at the bottom, if you have brackets.
Thank you, Dr. C. Thank you, Maestro. Lovely to have everybody's voices and instruments. It really does take a community to build something beautiful, which is going to be such a theme of tonight as we're at Shabbat Truma. And as many of you had the opportunity, I think, to have a building tour very recently. I hope you all were impressed with what you've seen, with what we are building together, and can visualize the beauty of what it will be like together. Not so far away, but yet in a way that makes a meaningful difference to us. So it's something very exciting for all of us. And it's good to see all of you here tonight. This is an opportunity for us to reconnect and perhaps welcome a new friend, see an old one around the kahal tonight. So let's take a moment and just say Shabbat Shalom, greet somebody staying near you. Dr. C will help you with the
Light first and then the blessing. Do you want to do one of the readings? You can, absolutely. Go ahead. Yeah. That goes first and then the light.
You want to read first?
Yes, why not?
Okay, you can do that. All right, just give us 1 second, everybody. We'll smooth and then I'll come back to attention. And then Dr. C will help you after you do your reading. We're on pages 120 and 121.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Where's the, oh, down the side. Mhm. Oh, nice. That's the way you go.
Well, we have Shabbat as what I like to think of as an ancient spiritual technology, a way to cope with life, which in many ways probably has changed over the last few thousand years since Judaism has existed, but in some of the more important ways, I would argue, has not. The need to periodically stop and mark time, take appraisal of our own lives, and focus inward a little bit in a world that always has us looking outward. It's really important to do. And we have this first service of Shabbat called Kabbalat Shabbat, which in which the words of the Psalms guide our hearts. And many of the Psalms are very joyful. And because Shabbat is itself very joyful, those are the ones that we have in this service, which is one reason that it's one of my favorites. So won't you join with us singing the words of Psalm 96, page 131. Actually, we'll start with Psalm 95 first, page 130, excuse me, 130. And if you have brackets in your book, look for the brackets at the bottom of the page, and if not, don't worry about it. Sing to God a new song. Shir Ladonai Shir Chadash, page 131. I'll try that one more time. Shir Ladonai. $130. This moment marks our encounter with Shabbat, crossing the threshold to our dwellings. And we say on a spiritual level that this is a moment where our soul is extra full. You might have heard the phrase "neshama yetera," or an extra soul that we are privileged to carry with us during the 25 hours of Shabbat. I think of it more following the great enlightened who we've been reading in the rack group. Rob Solomon. Schechter Shalomi. Yeah, he calls it sort of like an extra ensoulment, not just an extra soul, but like a deeper, fuller soul. Yeah, it's just like that extra breath that you can breathe in when you feel like something that was weighing on you isn't anymore, and it just feels broader. That's the feeling of ensoulment, of vayinafash, of the special extra nefesh that we can carry for Shabbat. So that's the spirit that we're welcoming into our space. And when we reach the end of this psalm, we'll all stand up and face the entrance to the building and welcome Shabbat as a dear friend. And we like E minor.
Oh, I say,
Shabbat. Hey. Rise. Thank you. Page 142, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalit, Malachei Elyon, B'Melech, Malei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch. Try that again with us. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalit, Malachei Elyon, B'Melech, Malei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom means come in peace. Shalom, shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Give each other the blessing of peace. Barchuni. Barchuni. Seitchem means if you must leave, go in peace. Seitchem shalom aleichem Friends, let us enter Ma'ariv. Let us rise. Page 146. Hey, Adonai, Page 148, we read together in English this blessing for the evening. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night, distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavot is your name.
There's an
Ever
echo.
living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai. Praise on you. Together, Baruch atah Adonai. Page 150. Please have a seat. We have a volunteer like us would like to help guide us in intention into the Chamocha by reading in English, page 159. Any volunteers? Anyone can do it. Could be you. Could be you. Or it could be you.
It's me.
All right.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. For soldiers home, grieve no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Page 115. Turn to page 164, and as we begin the words of the Amidah, we'll start singing, and when you feel ready, you can stand, and we all will begin standing the prayer, but this is a standing that can happen on the inside or the outside, and so try to say at least once in every service. If for some reason your body doesn't cooperate with you standing, then that's okay. That's not the main point. The main point is to focus in your body, whatever it's letting you do. So each person in their own way.
Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Ha'gibor והנורא, El Elyon, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסרות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבניהם, למען שמו באהבה, וחוזר מושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן העולם, ועזרת צבא. אתה גיבור לאדוני, בחיי הכל אתה מושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מפקד חיים וחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, תומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר עצורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשדי עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומדומך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. למען אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, לחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Continue silently, page 180.
to you. I don't know why. My Redeemer, you are I don't know how to live and go on living. I don't know how to live and go on living. In a world of my life, meditation of my heart, be acceptable to you. I don't know my rock, my Redeemer. You are so
I was sitting with one of our families today in the hospital, and it was one of the more dramatic situations where you need full PPE in order to enter the room. And it's been a couple of years since I've had to mask up, gown up, wear a face shield, just in order to have a conversation with somebody. Which, as you know, when you have to put all of that barrier in between you and another human being, it really does interfere with the relationality of the conversation. And it made me realize that one of the many difficult things about struggling with illness is that you don't often feel seen or recognized for what you are struggling with. Or sometimes you don't want to feel fully seen or recognized for what you or a loved one are struggling with. So it's fairly complicated. But then again, sometimes you do. And so let this just be one of many rabbinic PSAs to say, if you or someone you love are in the hospital nearby, we really want to know about it. And if you want us to know about it, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, to call the office. Let us know. It's part of our duty and our sacred privilege is to be with you and your family in God forbid such a time. And it's just a time that we all have to deal with at one point or many points throughout our lives. As Dr. C reminded us when she spoke about Jewish Disabilities Month a few weeks ago, all of us at one point or another will face that sort of reality, and hopefully not in a very long or very traumatic way, but it's part of being thought of and being recognized to make your needs known. And so I'm going to share those needs that are known to our community, and if there's somebody who you're thinking of in your life who is in need of healing and in their body or perhaps in their mind or in their spirit, you can, of course, add their name to our prayers as well. Among our temple members, we think of Karen Flatley, April Diamato, Norma Diamond, Ann Karamanis, Josh Lipschitz, Ken Gammerman, Patty Sussman, and Mark Warner. And also our loved ones, Lenore Shapiro, Linda Kaufman, Barak Yaakov ben Abraham Besara, Tamar Bat Rachel, Harav Chaim ben Leah, Connie Ambrosino, Phyllis Barenhouse, Mickey Bart, Jay Fliss, Michelle Rusinko, Babs Weiss, Joanne Casulo, Hal Katz, Bart Young, Sydney Scher, Matthew Pincus, Soraya Casey, Brian Kamens, Steve Kamens, Cecilia Barron, John Van Steenbergen, Barbara Whitehouse, Vivian Handis, Roberta Gleit, Paul Frisman, Bruce Petroff, Tim Maurer, Ben Peck, Georgina Peck, Marion Macon, Martha and Mark Potter, Marshall Aronson, Gloria Newell, Sabine Meyer, Carol Bartlett, Emily Belgard, Adrian Wasserman, Sherry Cohn, Joan Sidney, Amy Jacobs, Michael Stafford, Ira Weiss, Bill Reinhold, Drew Garabo, Davis Chamberlain, and Bree Lowenstein. And if there are others for whom we are praying for their health, feel free to add their names to our prayers, either if you're in person or if you're joining us on Zoom. You can add their names in the chat if you would like to do that. Jacobson.
Marvin Goldberg.
Marvin
Cameron Frisch.
Cameron Frisch. We're also thinking of Carol Robb, Bill Pellerin, and Mark Blum.
Rabbi. And John Chandler. And Jay and Al Masori.
And Jay and Al Lasuri. Friends will join our prayers as one voice as we turn to page 371 and offer the Mishpah. Beginning of the service, I referred to this being the Shabbat of building because it's Shabbat Truma. I'll explain what I meant by that now. One way to think about the responsibilities of a human being begins near the very beginning of the Torah in the Garden of Eden. And it says in that story that God placed Adam in the garden, le'ovda u'v'shomra, to till it, to work it, and to tend it. This concept encapsulates the Jewish responsibility to the natural world. We are stewards, not extractors, entrusted with more managerial duties, so to say, than other living beings. Judaism, of course, predates a modern understanding of how human behavior impacts the environment, and perhaps for that reason, it's a helpful barometer for gauging our success, really our failure in this regard. But that's the first step, and it's about the natural world. Following the created world of Genesis is the created society that we have a role in the book of Exodus. And that's where we land in this week's Torah portion with another major building project called the Tabernacle, the Mishkan in Hebrew. The Mishkan is the mobile sanctuary that the Israelites carried with them throughout the desert. At each stop, they would set up camp along the way throughout the desert, with the Israelites encamped on either side of the Mishkan, literally and figuratively at the center of the camp. It was the main point of contact between our ancestors and God, and each Israelite played a role in making it beautiful. If the Garden of Eden gave us environmental responsibility, then the Mishkan represents the spiritual responsibility, not to till and to tend, but to build and to beautify outside of nature and humans. This Torah portion is called Terumah, or gifts, and it begins this way. וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר בני ישראל ויקחו לי תרומה מאת כל איש אשר ידבנו ליבו, ויקחו את תרומתי. That means Adonai spoke to Moses saying, tell the Israelites to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts for me from every person whose heart is so moved. It is with these gifts that the Israelites were to build the Mishkan, because it was a very labor-intensive and materials-intensive project. And in the description that follows these verses, we learn about those needed items. There was gold, silver, copper, fine linen, tanned animal skins, stunning blue lapis lazuli stone, among other things. But the wording of the request is curious. Let's take a look at the commandment once more. Tell the Israelites to bring me gifts. Daber b'nei Israel v'kuli truma. Tell them to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts for me from every person whose heart is so moved. So if you stop after the first few words, it seems that this is a mandatory gift. But if you read it to the very end, it actually seems to be a voluntary gift. Everyone whose heart is moved will give. That's what God tells Moses, to collect those items, but God does not instruct the Israelites to give. Rather, it's for those who feel moved to help build the Israelite camp together. I will say what some of you have already begun to think. We are dealing with the first capital campaign in Jewish history. Moses is the first development director. The effort requires a bit of a risk. But I'm guessing that God is betting that when the Israelites can envision the splendor and feel the holiness of this amazing, beautiful place of an encounter with God in their midst, they will feel so moved and compelled to contribute, and it can only succeed. Later in the opening chapter, comes God's more famous words. When they build me a sanctuary, I will dwell among them. Or, the famous Kevin Costner line from Field of Dreams. There are a few lessons that I think we can reflect on in this Torah portion, in this concept for our own day, as we embark on the final phase of our own capital campaign. Lesson 1, beauty is more than skin deep. In Judaism, there's this concept called Hidur Mitzvah, which means beautifying the commandments. The idea is that something that's a mitzvah, a Jewish ritual or ethical obligation that's commanded of us, things like, Shabbat or holiday observance, these things deserve to be made beautiful, because making them beautiful elevates the performance of the commandment, adding dignity and aesthetic pleasure to our observance. That's where we have such beautiful Shabbat items, for instance. And that's how I understand the Mishkan. All the gold, silver, and precious stones are not there for the sake of looking flashy or rich, rather to remind us of the elevated sanctity of the place, of its purpose. The same can be said and will be said of our own sanctuary, which we are also excited to see come to fruition. And I think that you could all glimpse as you went up there just how beautiful it will be. So it is beautiful, but the beauty is more than skin deep. Lesson 2, giving elevates. Hiding in plain sight within the word terumah, which is the Torah's word for gift and our Torah portion's name, is a Hebrew root, resh, vav, mem, which means raise or elevate. It actually might be resh, mem, now that I'm thinking about it. I think it's double mem, resh, mem. Yeah, I think it's actually resh, mem, mem. So, I'll edit that out. when I- It just didn't feel right. Yeah, if you can correct the rabbi, there's still prizes from a religious school Purim contest for you. All right.
I'll get you one afterwards.
So what does that mean? We'll think about it for a second. That the word gift, means to give something over. I think there's a little more depth to the word truma, because the gift is actually elevating both the giver and the recipient. It's a giving, but for a sacred purpose, for, we would say in Jewish language, a covenantal purpose. The covenant being that sacred agreement that goes back thousands of years, that is destined to be not just a business arrangement, but actually a contract that elevates both parties, that gives a sense of aspiration and destiny and shared common purpose. This is big stuff. It's not just giving transactionally, it's giving to elevate the relationship. Lesson 3. There are many ways to give. In fact, there are as many meaningful ways to give as there are people. Some give gold, others give silver, some give modestly, and others lavishly. But every gift from the heart, that's what it says in the beginning of the Torah verse, remember, whose heart moves them. I'll show you then as we go. Everyone who gives from the heart is treasured, regardless of what is the gift, what is its content, what is its size. Let them give, says God, in a manner they feel to be meaningful and that they feel moves them according to their needs. These gifts of the heart are so precious and so valued, in part because they can take so many forms. I like to think of the 3 T's: time, treasure, and talent. All 3 of these matter. Only have an hour or 2 once every couple of months? The Social Justice Committee would welcome your help with their projects. Particularly good with technology, we're about to upgrade our membership base, which we're very excited about. You can always use expertise as we roll it out. Don't have a lot of time right now, but have a few shekels to spare. Well, we won't say no to that, right, Susie? We welcome and value each gift. Especially, of course, it's a topic on our minds as we're thinking about our beautiful new sanctuary and social hall space upstairs. Not to mention the beautiful kitchen, which I think did it have any appliances yet? Or no, not yet, but it had its cabinets today. Yeah, so we can see that coming to fruition. Every gift, regardless of what it is, reflects the shared values that we have. Gives us a shape toward that covenantal purpose I was describing a moment ago. And we hope that giving helps givers feel connected and impactful. And like the Mishkan, like this ancient dwelling, this tabernacle that maybe feels a little strange to us 3,000 years later, the impacts, and this is I think where it really connects, are visible. The impacts are something that we can connect to because human beings need a tangible something in order to feel connection, right? That's one reason perhaps the Israelites are soon to make a big mistake, and after they hear about the tabernacle, they build a golden calf. I'm not asking you to build us a golden calf. Please don't give to the golden calf fund. But all joking aside, when we share something together, we can really see it come to fruition in a way that we all find meaningful. I'd like to share one more teaching tonight, and that's from the Baal Shem Tov, who's the great Hasidic teacher, the founder of the Hasidic movement of Judaism. And he explains the context of the Mishkan comes following the 10 Commandments, which we read last week. Because if a person, well, technically 2 weeks ago, because if a person feels an urge to perform a mitzvah, he says, one should take this urge and convert it to action, or else the urge will soon disappear without a trace. A person must transform the feeling in his heart into action with his hands, so that the feeling should not go to waste. Therefore, with the enthusiasm of having received the Torah, God says to Moses, take this enthusiasm and transform it into action by building the Mishkan. Okay, So this is not why we brought you to do a tour. There's not going to be a big ask at the end of tonight. But the idea, I think, is one that I hope we can both think about. So many of the people here tonight, so many of us on Zoom, are already involved actively in building our Mishkan, our sanctuary, so to speak, in so many ways. If the time might be right for you to start building with us or build in a different way than you have been, just like occasionally one needs to step up and take the mandolin out of the case, whatever that might be for you, your talents, your gifts, your time, your treasure, yourself, everything you bring to our community are so deeply appreciated and valued. And if you're interested in taking that next step, I hope you will let me know. Shabbat shalom. We turn now to the conclusion of our service, which is Aleinu L'Shabeach on page 586. Page 586, we invite you to please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, v'teiknu yoter breshit, shelo asaknu yehalasot, v'lo samanu shkachot Adonai, shelo sam kakenu kahem, v'gor aleinu lehol hamona, v'anachnu korim. Page
591. Except for Lauren Sermon is going to greet us on behalf of our board.
We have so many ways for you to participate. Shabbat shalom, everyone, and a warm welcome to any guests who are here with us tonight. I'm Lauren Sturman, and I serve as co-chair of Kol Ami, which is our women's group on our board of directors. Please join us on Zoom tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for Torah study to be led by Dr. Kasorla. The link is in your inbox. And on Sunday, religious school will be back as usual. Also on Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m., join us at TBT for Camp Sunday. Come to learn more about our regional Jewish summer camps, and there'll be activities and games and more. On Monday, February 27th, join our Kol Ami friends for Rosh Chodesh at 7:30 with our dear Rabbi Susan Moss, Landau Moss, who will be sharing her wisdom with us. And calling all Spielers. Are you an Oscar winner waiting to happen? Do you have a deep and abiding love of all things fun and funny? Have you watched a Purim spiel and thought, I can do that? Well, now is your time to shine. TBT and the TBT Religious School will both be putting on Purim spiels, and we need you. How is that, Susie? Is that all right? We had directions on how we're supposed to do that. Whether you want to act in the Sunday, March 5th spiel at religious school or prefer to join the cast of the adult spiel on Monday, March 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. or want to do both, this is your chance to be a very kosher ham. I did not write this, I swear. Share the limelight with your TBT family and contact Dr. C for more. Did you write this?
Of course I did.
For more
Very
information.
kosher ham.
I'll be there. We'll have a good time. On March 8th at 7:30, join us for movie night, a Kol Ami activity. We will have asked for you to have watched the movie Liberty Heights, and it is available on Canopy for free. Look for more information in the e-blast.
And then there's more. Join Rabbi Moss for Lunch and Learn, the biblical Psalms, how the poetry of the Psalms can speak powerfully to different phases of our lives. We will meet on Zoom for 4 Thursdays in March, the 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. Check your email for sign up. And then, as if that weren't enough, on Sunday, March 19th, there'll be a special adult education program, When Ballet Became Dangerous, a roundtable conversation with our new congregant and Stanford Professor Emerita, Janice Ross, about using art to challenge authoritarian rule in Russia. Check your email for more information about that. Lots of ways to participate. And again, Shabbat Shalom.
Great delivery.
March is really shaping up to be an epic month for TBT.
In the best way.
With great learning and mayhem. I don't know how else to say that.
Learning and mayhem.
Learning and mayhem. I can't wait. And by the way, if you haven't met Janice yet, you're in for a treat when you come. I mean, she's a professor emerita of performance studies at Stanford. She is a serious scholar and actually went on a Fulbright to Israel where she studied Orthodox women dancing, ultra-Orthodox women dancing ballet, and how it intersected with the norms of Israeli society. And so she just has a lot of really fascinating Torah on the topic of women's roles and dance and performance in general. So, plus I think there might be another opportunity one of these days to go see a Broadway show with her and Marlene. I don't know if they put that on. Not quite yet. I look forward to hearing about that one. All right, friends. Well, it's time for us now to take a pause to honor our beloved but departed loved ones who are in our hearts but have left the world. And I know so many of us are thinking this month of our Bubby, Phyllis Kaufman, who passed away in recent weeks and who's still in the period of Shaloshim. So we're thinking very much of her family tonight. And I know that a lot of us have family members who have passed away at this time in years gone by. So I'm going to read their names for your site. Feel free to stand as I do say their names. If you feel comfortable, stand and stay standing. And there will be an opportunity, if I didn't read your loved one's name, for you to add it at the end as well. And so in the period of Yortzeit, we honor Lane Jacks, George Jacoby, Shirley David, Sidney E. Geringer, Anna Gandel, Isaac Stoller, Arnold Winicour, Sally Aaronworth, Martha Feingold, Richard Joseph Ottenheimer, Gilbert Ormland, Leslie Coe, Paul Goodman, Lisa Green, Tadeusz Shitoresi, and Melech Schwartz. There are others who are saying Kaddish tonight. Feel free to share the name of your loved ones. Are there others on Zoom who are saying Kaddish tonight? Friends, I invite us to please rise as one community as we share these hallowed words of Morris Kaddish, page 598. 598. Yikadav, Yikadash, Meirah, V'yalmad, Yiprach, Yeruteh, V'yamlich, Malchuteh, V'chayichon, V'yamechon, V'chayi, V'chol Beit Yisrael, V'adalav, V'zman Kariv, V'yiru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabban, V'rach, V'olam, Amen, Amen. Yiparach, V'yishabach, V'yitahar, V'yitraman, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Kudushav, V'yiru, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechmata, Amirah v'yamah v'yamah, Yeh shalom v'yamah v'yishmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yamkol Yisrael v'yiru amen. Oseh shalom v'yamah, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yamkol Yisrael v'yiru amen. The source of peace, bring peace and comfort to the hearts of the bereaved, as together we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom v'yamah, hu yaseh
together, page 123. Thank you, Dr. C. Thank you, Susie. And thank you very much to Susie, as always, for making all of the circuits connect behind the scenes. Do what she is doing is like juggling
Somewhat connected. Yes.
juggling cats while doing this at the same time. So
All right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ohev b'ri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו מצוותיו ורצוננו, ושבת קודשו ויאהבנו רצון בבנינו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, יום תפילה לקראת קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים, כי באנו באת וחנו קידשת מכל החיים, ושבת קודשך ויאהבנו רצון בנפשנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש אתה לחיים.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, המוציא לחם מן הארץ שתיעלום.
closing song.
Vamos como vuestro.
Oh, what page number?
631.
All right, page 631.
A little bit of Hebrew, a little bit of Ladino, a little bit of dancing. Get up, move your body.
I don't think I will ever forget the notation on the sheet music you gave me for this, which said, "This one always makes the children dance."
yes, yeah. It does not. We had the children, they didn't dance.
There are other good pieces of Jewish music that make the children dance.
Definitely, yeah.
But there's no reason this one couldn't do.
It could, yeah, but it didn't.
Ein Eloheinu, ein Adonenu, ein Kamateinu, ein Kevoshienu, non como vuestro Dios, non como vuestro Señor, non como vuestro Rey, non nuestro Señor, tú sos nuestro Rey, tú sos nuestro Salvador.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Oh, yeah? Wow. All over the world.